State, Michigan Saturday, CC's birthday Sunday.
Come on to the house. Get it up. It was a party weekend. Let's do it.
Back here with Coach Mangini.
Coming to work on Monday.
We are going viral. National holiday. Jared Goff outdueled Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs Monday night. The Rams quarterback threw for 413 yards, 4 touchdowns. He also ran one in, and he tweeted this photo of his touchdown celebration on that run. A lot of people thought the picture looked like a basketball move. Nick?
Oh, a little finger roll? Like? A little finger roll, a little George Gervin, a little Iceman?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Just a nice little touch. He was having a good time. Realized, that's 10 foot. I can't get that.
Oh, that play right there, that's one of the 3,800 times this year LeBron's been fouled going to the basket and not gotten the call.
Oh, my goodness. So not only you represent Patty Mahomes, and you come back get on brand with LeBron.
I didn't pick the graphic. I'm just telling the audience what I saw. I watched that game. I lost money on that Magic game.
LeBron tattoo on his left arm and Mahomes tattoo on his right arm.
All right, enough.
Coach, Cowboys.
Too much abuse today.
Cowboys are setting the table for a Thanksgiving feast. Their guest, Washington. Let's go over some of the things Dallas is thankful for this year. Back-to-back road wins. Ezekiel Elliott, pretty good defense, and a 5-5 record in a very shaky division. In fact, they can pull even with Washington for the NFC East lead with a win. A loss, Nick, and what happens?
Well, they're 2 back with no tiebreaker. They're basically 3 back and cooked.
Hoping for less words, but that too. Here's Dak Prescott in the pivotal division matchup.
Our backs are against the wall. Regardless, we're not worried about what we've done up to this point. It's about just moving forward, and I think that's allowed us to get on this 2-game winning streak and get the record back to 500. Is because we know our backs are against the walls. Every game matters. Every game is a must-win. Nothing changes this week.
All right, Coach, are the Cowboys now the team to beat in the NFC East?
Yeah, I can't get on board with that yet. I like Washington. I like Washington in this game. I like Colt McCoy. I had Colt in Cleveland. I think that he's better than people understand because he hasn't had an opportunity to play very much, and I think he'll do a good job. I really like Bill Callahan, who's in Washington. So Bill Callahan was the O-line coach in Dallas when that O-line was considered to be the best in the league, and all those guys got paid. He moves on to Washington. He's done great things there with a bunch of injuries.
Yes.
And I like Jim Tomsula on the defensive line, too. There are a lot of things that I like in terms of what Washington has, even though they're dealing with the adversity that they are and the injuries that they are. So Dallas, to me, needs to prove it on a more consistent basis.
Coach brings up a good point, and I think that only thing you missed was the head coach. And Jay Gruden's done a tremendous job in coaching in Washington. New year with Alex Smith. We know Alex Smith snapped his leg last week, so he's going to be out coming down the stretch. But their ability to teach physical football on their offense and defensive line. Washington's one of those teams like the Tennessee Titans. Man, when you get done playing them, you're going to be sore for 2 or 3 days. Now, they don't have all the household names and everything. Adrian Peterson has done a phenomenal job, and they've come up with a game plan of how they can incorporate his running ability out of I formations so they can be effective, so they can stay in the game. And they've had a tremendous amount of injuries. But you got to give Jay Gruden a lot of credit for how he's kept the focus of this football team and how he's taught them. You can see they're a very, very physical team, and this is going to be a very, very physical game. I like the intel that Colt McCoy has with the offense before. That's one of the reasons why they signed him. So you can look for him to be effective, more effective than another backup if he had just signed with the team and was taking over on a short week. So I think it's going to be an exciting game. Listen, Washington, they got a lot of intel on Dallas. They play Dallas very, very difficult. And that physicality, typically Dallas goes into that and think that, we have a plus in that area. In this instance, even though they're injured, I believe that Washington will be able to match their physicality.
Let me ask you this, Coach. The home field advantage, it feels like, has been muted in recent years in the NFL. I don't know if it's because of the newer stadiums. I don't know if it's because stadiums like the new one in Atlanta are so nice, people aren't in their seats as much as in the concourses. But one place that home field has not, or one instance where home field cannot be overstated has been on Thursdays this year. Thursdays this year, the home team's 9-2, and the 2 losses are by the Giants and the Cardinals, 2 teams that have struggled throughout the season. How difficult is it? How much more difficult is it on a Thursday game for the road team, or is that just in your eyes an anomaly of this season?
It is difficult because you have the travel component, but I wonder what the stats are on Thanksgiving. because Thanksgiving is like Monday Night Football. It's such a guys get up for that game in a different way than they do the typical Thursday game. So a Thursday game, a lot of guys dread. Thanksgiving is an opportunity for everybody in the country to watch you play. So I wonder how skewed those numbers are. You get a little more energy.
Yeah, I think on Thanksgiving, and I'll have to get the staff to look it up because I didn't think about how many times I've played on Thanksgiving. I think I played on Thanksgiving 4 times. 3 or 4 times at least. And you are more excited than you are than a normally Thursday telecast, because I've been in both when we had Thursday night football when I was playing, and the anticipation of playing in such a grand stage. And it's the holiday season. You know you're going to get that weekend off. It's different. If you get that weekend off, you have a Thursday game in September or October. But around the holidays, it becomes very, very special. And everyone is watching football on Thanksgiving. Everyone's not watching football on Thursday night.
Right.
All right. And the numbers reflect that. So I think players, you go into these games, you're very sore, but you know that it's been a great tradition in the NFL, and you kind of look for kind of fulfilling people's holiday with some good football.
And let's get back to the way we started. There are implications. Oftentimes on Thursday, you're having 2 games, and they don't really mean that much. This game means a lot for both of these teams.
Listen, I've been saying, as we've been promoting all week, this is the biggest game of the year in the NFC East. And, Coach, I know early in the year you don't like me looking at the schedule, but I think in Week 12 it's okay to look at where teams are, and what the game means. If Dallas wins, they get a split with Washington. They're 3-1 in the division, and they have the same record as Washington. If they lose, they're 2 back, having been swept by Washington, meaning they will have no tiebreakers, meaning they have to get a game better than them. So if the Cowboys win, they will come in on Friday, and if Vegas sets the odds in the division, they will be the favorites in the division. In fact, they are the favorites in the division right now because Vegas is anticipating a win, and they don't respect Colt McCoy the way you do. If they lose, they're finished. Like you can't come back from 3 back with 5 to play. Not in the it's a rarity that ever happens in the NFL. And usually, if you're 3 back with 5 to play, and the team you're chasing is only 7-5, it means you're not a very good football team. So as far as the stakes of this game, they couldn't be higher for the Cowboys.
Well, one thing I do like about the Cowboys is they've had adversity throughout the course of the season, in the sense that everybody has killed them. Everybody has talked about the things they haven't done very well. When you look at the rest of the division, they haven't quite dealt with that as much. And there seems to be an identity that they form. There seems to be a sense of community and togetherness that I like.
Blueprint on how they win football games. Play very good defense, give Zeke the ball 25 to 30 times, don't ask Dak to do too much, right? Like they have a very clear blueprint on what works for them and what doesn't work for them.
Yeah, getting back to Jenna's point about being concise, you did a much better job of saying exactly what I was trying to say.
Wow.
That blueprint.
I told you you're our favorite guest.
You did. It is. They have identified what they need to do to win, and with an injury like Washington suffered, they're going to have to get used to Colt McCoy. Whether he's plays extremely well or doesn't, they still need to get used to his style during this transition.
All right, Coach, we'd love having you here this week. Have a great Thanksgiving. Happy and healthy, and we'll see you next week. Are you coming back? Are you back here tomorrow?
I'll see you tomorrow, but thanks for tomorrow.
You are here tomorrow, which I knew, so we'll see you tomorrow. And I'll probably say the same
thing. You could have said that quick by not saying it at all. Back there in the goodbye.
Jenna needs to check the schedule.
Okay, coming up is Kevin Durant's time with Golden State coming to a close. Next on First Things First. I am very sorry. I'm excited that you're here tomorrow.
The share thing threw you off earlier.
I don't need.
No, you can't do that.
Clear light.